Hello everyone, myself Heli Mehta, working as an assistant professor in computer engineering department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Our subject is database management system. Our unit is 9. Types of SQL commands. So there are 5 types of SQL command: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL and DQL. So today we will see the DDL command. Okay, in DDL command we have a 4 commands, that is create command, drop command, alter command and truncate command. Okay, in today's lecture we will see create command, and in next lecture we will see the alter command, drop command and truncate command. So uh, DDL means data definition language. It is a set of SQL command used to create, modify and delete database objects such as table, view and indices. Okay, so we in database we can create the table, we can modify the table, we can delete the table. For that these SQL commands are used. It is normally used by DBA, database administrator and the database designer. Okay, so it provides the commands like create. Okay, so create is used to create the objects in the database. Second is alter command. It is used to alter, means modify the schema, logical structure of the database. Next is drop, to delete the objects from the database. Okay, and next is truncate, to remove all the records from the table. Okay, so drop means we can delete the tables. Okay, and truncate means the content records of the tables are deleted. That is the difference between drop and truncate. Now our first statement is create table statement. Okay, create is used to create the database or its objects like table, view and index. Here we are first creating table. So create table is used to create a new table in the database. Okay, so syntax is create table. So we have to write create table, and here we have to provide the name of the table according to us. Okay, so here we have to write the table name. After that we have to provide the columns. Okay, so first is the column name. After that we have to write is data type, and in bracket we have to provide the size. After that, if we want to provide the constraint null, not null, then we have to write here null or not null, comma, column 2. Here we have to write the another column's name, data type, its size, and here we have to provide the constraint null or not null up to n. Okay, we can add more than one column according to our requirement. So see here, we are creating one table, that is student. So create table. I am giving the name student. You can write any name according to your perspective. Okay, so I am giving the name students in bracket. First column is roll number. Okay, so data type of roll number is integer, and I am giving the size 3. Okay, now I am giving the constraint not null. The not null means the students have roll number compulsory. The value must not be empty. Okay, so I am giving here not null constraint. After that, in student obviously name must be there. So name, data type is varchar 20. Okay, here I am not giving any constraint. It depends on our requirements that we have to give the constraint or not. Okay, now next in students we can write another column, that is subject. Okay, subject name, you can write subject, you can write subject name according to your perspective. Subject varchar in bracket size 20. Okay, and bracket over here we are starting bracket, here we have to close the bracket and end with semicolon. This is the syntax of create tables. Okay, now, the column should either be defined as a null or not null. Okay, by default, a column can hold the null value. If we are writing not null, okay, then it must be not empty. Okay, now if we are not writing anything, then by default it is the null. So it can accept the null value. The not null constraint enforce a column to not accept null value. Okay, so there must be some value. This enforces a field to always contain a value, which means that you cannot insert a new record or update a record without adding a value to this field. So not null means there must be some value. Okay, so create table statement can create a table, as I explained, define column constraint. Okay, and define a table constraint. See here we have a create table. Okay, create table, table name. Here we can define the columns. Okay, table constraint. If we want to add constraint, then we have to add over here. Now column definition. In column, we have to write column name, its data type, and its default value, size of the column. Okay, now if we want to use table constraint over here, then constraint may be a primary key. Okay, some column may be primary key, some column may be foreign key, some column you have the unique constraint, and some column have a check constraint. Okay, according to our requirement, we are using this type of constraint for particular column. Okay, so primary key constraint, if we want to use primary key constraint, then we have to simply write the primary key and column name. Okay, suppose roll number, I am using the column name roll number is a primary key, so I have to write primary key in bracket, I have to write roll number. That means every student must have a unique roll number. Okay, now if I want to use the foreign key constraint, then I have to write foreign key. Here I have to write the column name, which column I am going to use as a foreign key. Now reference is table name, from which table I am using this column. Okay, so reference is table name, and from that table which column. Okay, so this is the concept of foreign key. Foreign key, column name, reference is from which table we are taking the reference, this table name will appear here, and from that table which column. Table have a multiple columns. Okay, so from that column some column we are using for the foreign key. Okay, so here we have to write references for that table name and that column name. Now if we are using uniqueness constraint, then we are using unique in bracket column name, which column I want to make the unique. Okay, now check constraint. Okay, so check in bracket I have to write the search condition. Okay, which condition I have to apply. Okay, this is the known as the constraint. So this is the structure to create the table. Okay, now see, this is the example. Okay, now here they gave create a table customer details. So our name of the table must be customer details with the following specification. Okay, so column name, the data type and width, and constraint. Okay, so see here. Here we have to add this column: customer ID, customer last name, customer middle name, customer first name, account number, account type, bank branch, and customer email address. Okay, now customer ID data type is number and size is 5, and it must be not null. Okay, now customer last name varchar2 20 and not null, means it must have a value. Customer middle name varchar2 and size is 4. Customer first name varchar2, size is 20. Account number, this is number 5 and it is the primary key. Account type varchar2, size is 10, not null. Bank branch varchar2, size is 25 and not null. Customer email address varchar2 and size is 30. This specification is given. Remember this. If they gave us a create a table customer details, that's all, then we can add this column name according to our perspective. But now in this example they gave this specification. Okay, so we have to follow this. Okay, suppose they gave create the table customer details, then we can choose any column name and any size of the this column data type. Okay, now they gave the specification, so we are using this specification to write the query. So now we have to create a table customer details. So write create table name is customer details in bracket, first column is customer ID. So customer ID, this is the column name. After that we have to write the data type. The data type is number 5. Okay, number and size is 5. Now we have to add which constraint, not null. So I am writing here constraint. We have to write here constraint. Now I am giving the name and null 1 is the name. It is not compulsory to write and null. Okay, it is a good practice to give the name to constraint. Okay, so here I am writing and null. It is not compulsory. Again I am repeating. You can write this customer ID number 5 constraint, which constraint, not null. Okay, this is the name of constraint, remember this. Now second is customer last name. So customer last name varchar2, it is given varchar2. Okay, now here we have to given another constraint, not null. So constraint, now name of constraint is and null 2, not null. Okay, now customer middle name varchar2, customer first name varchar2 comma, we have to use comma between two columns. Account number, so number 5, Constraint, now constraint is primary key, so we are giving the name p key 1, primary key. Okay, so we can identify, it is only for user identification. Okay, so we can easily find out this. Now account type varchar 2 10 constraint and null 3. Now here I am giving null, not null 1, not null 2, not null 3, and not null. Now next is bank branch. So bank branch varchar 2 size is 25. Now give the constraint not null 4. This is the name, not null. Customer email varchar 2 30, bracket over and with semicolon. So simple our syntax is create table, table name in bracket, column name, data type with and constraint and name of the constraint. So this is the create table syntax. Now here create a table employee manager with the following specification. Again they are giving the specification. Now here the concept of primary key and foreign key is used. So see, employee ID, employee last name, employee middle name, employee first name, employee email address, department, grade and manager ID. Here they give the data type with its size. Now for primary key, employee ID is the primary key and manager ID is a foreign key and it is referencing employee ID. Okay, from employee ID they are giving the manager ID. So now create table. So create table, which table? Employee manager. So create table employee manager in bracket, syntax is column name with data type and with, and after that we have to put the constraint. So employee ID number 6, constraint primary key 2. As in previous example I use primary key 1, so here I am using primary key 2. It is just the name of constraint. Again I am telling, it is not compulsory to write this. Okay, now constraint primary key. So employee ID will be your primary key. Every employee must have a unique number. Okay, now employee last name varchar 2, employee middle name varchar 2, comma, employee email address varchar 2, comma, department varchar 2, comma, grade number, comma, manager ID number 6. Now constraint, which constraint we have to provide? Foreign key. Remember constraint, so we are giving name f key 2 means foreign key. Now from which referencing from employee ID, and employee ID is a column of which table? Employee manager. So see here, reference is employee manager, table name. Okay, as I explained the syntax of foreign key here. So foreign key in bracket we have to give the column name, references from which table we are taking the reference, and in bracket we are writing the column name. So here reference is employee ID. So employee ID is belongs to which table? Employee manager. So here we are writing employee manager, in bracket we have to write employee ID. Okay, so employee ID is the primary key of employee manager and manager ID is the foreign key of employee manager. This is the concept how to write the primary key and foreign key. Okay, here we have to write constraint f key 2, references most important, references from which table? Here they give the column name employee ID, but we have to think employee ID is belongs to employee manager, so we have to write the table name employee manager over here. In bracket we have to write the given column name, that is employee ID. So from employee ID it gives the manager ID. So this is the concept of foreign key. Now next is primary key is a column constraint. Okay, so in previous example, create table customer details. Okay, customer ID number 5, constraint not null. So employee ID must be not null. Employee last name constraint not null. Okay, customer middle name, customer last name, customer first name. Here I am going to make account number as a primary key. Okay, in previous example I make the employee ID as a primary key. Here I make the customer ID as a account number as a primary key. So see here, account number 5. Okay, constraint primary key. Okay, account type varchar 2, constraint not null. Bank branch varchar 2, constraint not null. Customer email address varchar 2 30 and with semicolon. This is the same example like previous. Okay, here I am using primary key at a particular column. Okay, so a primary key is a column constraint. I am using primary key concept on particular column, and column name is account number. So this is the concept of primary key is a column constraint. Now I am using primary key is a table constraint. Okay, so in this scenario, okay, we have to write at last, after last column name, we have to write constraint primary key in bracket. I am providing customer ID, comma, account number, as I am using the concept of composite primary key here. Composite primary key means in more than one column we can write using primary key. Okay, so this is the concept of table constraint. All query is same like previous, but here I am using primary key at account number. Okay, now our last column is customer email address. So at last here I am writing constraint primary key in bracket. I am writing customer ID and account number, as I am using it a composite primary key, and composite primary key means more than one column can participate in the primary key. So this is the concept of composite primary key, and it is also known as a table constraint, as at last column I am writing the primary key. So this is known as a primary key is a table constraint, and here it is the primary key at a column constraint, as I am using primary key is at account number. Okay, now next, to create a table from another table. Okay, I have already one table, and from that table I want to create another table. Okay, remember this, create table customer detail. As I have a customer detail, customer underscore detail is table is already available. Now from that table I am using cust details, name change. Okay, so create table customer details as, okay, select customer ID, account number, account type, bank branch, customer email address from customer details. Okay, so these all are the column of which table? Customer details. I am using these all columns of customer details in a customer details. Okay, so from customer details I am using this customer details. Okay, so table from another table. Okay, this is already existing customer details, and I am creating customer details according to this. Okay, so create table, new name cust details as, here we have to use as, select all columns separating by comma from customer details. Okay, now suppose I don't want to write all columns over here comma, then I have to use star symbol. Okay, so in the example above, cust detail table is created from the customer detail table. Okay, this table is created with attribute customer ID, account number, account type, bank branch, and customer detail. If it is required, customer detail table has exactly the same structure as a customer detail. If both table have a same structure, then we can use create table cust detail as select star from customer details. We do not need to write all columns like this. Okay, if both table have a same structure. Okay, now if I am writing like this, then in this example, in the example above, not only is the structure copied, but the data is also copied. Okay, so we want to copy only structure, then we have to change our query. In this, data of customer details is copy into cust detail. Okay, so if I write, if I want to copy only the structure, not the data, then create table customer detail as select star from customer detail where 1 is equal to 2, and 1 is equal to 2 is never true. Okay, so according to this, the structure is only copy, not the data, and in this all the data are copied. So this is the concept, that to create a table from another table. So this is the create table statement. Thank you.